Hey, Jules Blessed Vegan, and thank you so much for checking in as always. And for those of you who are just joining us, you are right on time. So I was pondering how we say that healing is real. And I agree that healing is real, and I'm starting to see some of that in my own life. And what it implies is that you're healing your body through food. And obviously, live food for a live body, thank you, Tanny Raw, is the best. I mean, unless that food breaks down and actually goes rotten within a couple of days because it is live, then it must be processed. And any form of processed food is the beginning of junk food and deterioration in the wrong direction. Instead of the food naturally breaking down, your body is breaking down. So I was just thinking, while I accept that we can certainly heal our lives and our bodies through things like whole food, plant-based, high carb, low fat, raw vegan, and eating, healthy foods that are non-animal related and certainly not vegan junk food. What I also recognize is real is the very real struggle on the way to wellness. And I know that varies and presents itself in different ways for different people. But for me, and what is today? The 9th? So it's just been like, 12 days? About 12 days of me just being steadfast and choosing to eat exactly right and stay within my calorie, window. And I am struggling. I'm exhausted. And granted, I've had a lot going on in my life lately, but it's just all part of the detox, right? Because I didn't realize, I always say denial ain't a river in Egypt. Well, it's not a river in Egypt. It was my truth. And I was in denial on how many poor choices I was making regarding my food during let's just say the month of December. So anyway, in choosing to eat right and stay within my calorie window, of course, I'm not anesthetizing myself with food. So inevitably, what's bubbling up are emotions, real feelings, all the things that I was trying to drown with my food choices. And so in another life where I wasn't a teacher and a wife and having a ton of animals to care for and everything else, I may have chosen to sleep through this, but that's not an option for me either. So I actually have to feel, and that's just not very comfortable for me. And I know it's recommended that I write about it in my journal and la la la. I'm just trying not to be in survival mode, and the journaling may come, but what's here first is just sheer exhaustion and just struggling. I'm just struggling. The road to wellness can be a struggle. And for somebody like me who's been a compulsive overeater for all of my life, honestly, not many people have memories, from 2 and 3 years old of already struggling with food. Stealing food, as a 3-year-old, stealing from the store as a 4-year-old. And not because food wasn't available in my home, it was. But, I had preferences, and my mother was a health fanatic. And now I've come to understand her now, but at the time it was just like, how can I get those treats that I want? Because it's always been sugar for me. But anyway, I've just been having a lot of emotions and just going through a ton of things, I'm discontent in my life. But, as a grown-up, sometimes you have to say too bad. You've got to go to work for the paycheck. You have to fulfill your responsibilities whether you want to or not. And the little inner child in me is, pounding her fists and saying, I want to play. The playing may come in time. It may never come. I may have to wait for heaven to play. But I am most certainly struggling. And what that looks like, I don't know. When I eat wrong, I can fake my presentation. And when I don't, I'm not as good at it. So today some teachers were noticing that Miss McCants was less than joyful a little less tolerant when things weren't going the way she wanted. Because usually it's just like, whatever. I'll just go with it and eat over it later. I'll just comfort myself later. But I'm not comforting myself later. And I was genuinely upset about a situation, and I couldn't hide it. Maybe I chose not to, I don't know. It's not that my authentic self isn't joyful and supportive of others. I just tend to negate myself. And apparently, myself wants to be acknowledged. So, we'll see what that looks like. All right, peeps, that's my story. I'm having asthma. I'm still struggling with a cold. Praise God, my little dog is better. Thanks for your prayers if you're familiar. No seizures today. She got her medication in, and I pray that she's on her way. But again, God has to do that because we can't be here 24/7. Like any parent, you cannot be with your kid every minute of the day. So, God has to step up and do his part because ultimately we're all his children, right? All right, so thank you so much for listening, and let me know, what do you think about that? Is your road to wellness also a challenge? Because yes, healing is real, but so is the struggle to get there, at least for me. Okay, people, be good to you. Stay vegan. Choose to, make best choices. Share, like if you like, join us if you haven't. And until we talk again, my friends, you got it. Be blessed.